In 2023, CATL scaled sodium-ion battery production to the gigawatt-hour level, delivering cells with an energy density of around 160 watt-hours per kilogram and more than 3,000 charge-discharge cycles. In the same year, solid-state batteries demonstrated energy densities of 350 to 400 watt-hours per kilogram. Yet global automotive production remained at effectively 0 gigawatt-hours. When a lower-density battery reaches mass production first, the issue is not performance, it is practicality. Why are sodium-ion batteries entering real EVs while solid-state still isn't? In 2023, CATL quietly shipped its first sodium-ion battery packs into production vehicles used by Chinese city fleets. No flashy launch, no futuristic concept cars, just vehicles rolling off the line with a new chemistry inside. That same year, solid-state batteries, despite decades of promises, produced virtually zero automotive-scale output. If solid-state batteries offer higher energy density, why aren't automakers using them? On paper, the advantage looks overwhelming. Solid-state batteries routinely claim cell-level energy densities above 350 watt-hours per kilogram, with some prototypes approaching 400 watt-hours per kilogram. Sodium-ion batteries, by comparison, sit closer to 140 to 160 watt-hours per kilogram. If energy density were the only metric that mattered, this debate would be over. But automakers do not build cars from lab cells. They build cars from battery packs. Toyota is the clearest example. The company has publicly demonstrated solid-state prototypes for more than a decade and continues to target limited deployment later this decade. Yet every Toyota EV on the road today still uses conventional lithium-ion batteries. Why? Because solid-state cells require constant mechanical pressure to maintain contact between solid electrolyte and electrodes. In a real vehicle pack, maintaining uniform pressure across thousands of cells for 10 years is not trivial. It is expensive, heavy, and failure-prone. That pressure system erodes the energy density advantage. A 380 watt-hours per kilogram solid-state cell can easily fall below 250 watt-hours per kilogram at the pack level once compression frames, reinforced housings, and thermal buffers are added. Sodium-ion batteries never promise extreme density. They accept lower voltage and lower capacity in exchange for structural simplicity. So, why do sodium-ion batteries scale faster than solid-state? Scaling exposes every weakness a lab test hides. Solid-state batteries face two major manufacturing barriers. Sulfide-based electrolytes react violently with moisture, producing toxic hydrogen sulfide gas. This forces manufacturers into near semiconductor cleanroom environments. Oxide-based electrolytes avoid that problem, but require sintering temperatures above 1,000 degrees Celsius, driving up cost and energy consumption. QuantumScape, backed by Volkswagen, has acknowledged that its solid-state cells remain on pilot lines, not mass production. Yield losses remain high, and multi-layer scaling is still unresolved. Even optimistic roadmaps avoid committing to gigawatt-hour scale factories. Now compare that with CATL's sodium-ion strategy. Sodium-ion cells can be produced on modified lithium-ion lines. Aluminum replaces copper current collectors. Hard carbon replaces graphite. Moisture sensitivity is manageable. Yield rates above 90% are already achievable. CATL has publicly stated that sodium-ion production can be integrated into existing factories with minimal retooling. Why are automakers willing to accept lower range from sodium-ion? Critics love to point out the obvious sodium-ion EVs have shorter range. Typical production vehicles offer around 200 to 300 kilometers of real-world driving. That sounds weak, until you look at how cars are actually used. BYD's sodium-based blade-style architectures target entry-level and urban vehicles. Usage data shows that over 70% of daily trips in major cities are under 50 kilometers. For these drivers, range anxiety is not the problem. Cost, safety, and battery degradation are. Sodium-ion batteries excel here. They tolerate full charge cycles without accelerated degradation. CATL reports over 3,000 full cycles before dropping to 80% capacity. In urban EV usage, that translates to well over 500,000 kilometers. Solid-state advocates often claim even higher cycle life, but those figures are typically measured under ideal pressure and temperature conditions. conditions that real vehicles rarely maintain. Why are automakers quietly prioritizing cost over chemistry? Prestige. Battery cost is the silent killer of grand visions. Sodium is one of the most abundant elements on Earth. Lithium is not. While sodium-ion batteries are currently only modestly cheaper than lithium iron phosphate, cost curves matter. Industry projections place sodium-ion pack costs trending toward $60 to $70 per kilowatt-hour as scale increases. That number is not hypothetical. It is based on materials pricing, simplified manufacturing, and existing infrastructure. Solid-state batteries, even in optimistic scenarios, struggle to fall below $100 to $120 per kilowatt-hour once mechanical systems, yield losses, and cleanroom requirements are included. That makes them unsuitable for mass-market vehicles. This is why CATL positions sodium-ion not as a replacement for lithium-ion, but as a strategic complement. Entry-level EVs, city cars, commercial fleets, and grid storage do not need maximum energy density. They need predictable cost and lifespan. What do sodium-ion batteries reveal about the limits of solid-state? Sodium-ion batteries expose a hard truth that engineers understand, but marketing often ignores. The best technology is the one that tolerates imperfection. Solid-state batteries demand precision, perfect interfaces, constant pressure, ultra-clean manufacturing. Sodium-ion batteries accept variability. They degrade slowly, fail gracefully, and scale brutally. That is why one chemistry is already shipping and the other remains trapped in pilot lines. Solid-state may eventually succeed in premium applications, but sodium-ion has already won the first and most important battle surviving the real world. So the final question lingers: do we build the future on what looks best in the lab, or on what actually survives mass production? Right now, the answer is rolling quietly through city streets, powered not by hype, but by sodium. We appreciate your contributions and hope you will have the most relaxing feelings after watching this video. If you did, please hit the like button and join the Adward Regen family by subscribing to our channel. And don't miss out on any of our awesome videos by hitting the bell icon. We value your feedback and your time. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.